Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and today I won't be reviewing anything. Today is going to be a day where it sounds egotistical, but I'm going to be talking about myself. Yeah, that definitely sounded egotistical. But I'm going to be talking about myself. Obviously, there's a load of people out there that are suffering with loads of different things. And I'm lucky not to suffer with any of them. But I know what it's like to go through a hard time. I know what it's like to feel like you're alone. And I don't talk about it. Ever, really. Yeah, I don't ever talk about it. I keep myself to myself, and I'm quite happy with that. But I just feel as though the right thing to do is to talk about it. And what a better place to talk about it than on here. I'll probably allude to it again in the future at some points, but this is a video that I'll probably always keep. Even if people don't watch it, I'll always keep it for me. And it's a way to tell myself that, you know, what I'm doing is right. You know, I work on my own. I am very much a lone wolf. I don't like bringing other people into my world, because in the past I've had quite a few people that I've let in go like that. And it all started when I moved over to Redditch. For those of you that don't know me, before I lived in Redditch, I was born in Honeybourne. Wasn't born in Honeybourne. I was born in Redditch Hospital, but I lived in Honeybourne for the majority of my life. And then, but in year 7, I don't know what that is in America or whatever, so you'll have to research that. But in year 7 over here, I moved over to Redditch from my mum. Because she met a guy that she really liked, who she's now married to. And I never fit him. For a very long time, I didn't fit him. Not one bit. No matter how hard I tried. You know, I started off the same person as I left. But then I just started to slowly just diminish and quieten, and the wacky side of me went for so long. And to go from up here to straight down here, killed me. It really did kill me, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was best. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I would just be at home, and I would I'd play my games, and I'd chuck my controllers, and I'd break so many things. And I kept saying, you know, it was just a fit of rage. It wasn't. That rage was always inside me. I was angry at myself, angry at my mum, angry at my stepdad, angry at my dad. I was angry at everyone, but mostly angry with myself. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like who I was becoming. I didn't like anything. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't deal with stuff. I didn't like the fact that I just didn't know who I was. Man, that sounds stupid, but everyone has that something that gets them passionate, that's something that makes them happy, and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what to do next. Others obviously didn't find it, but they were okay with that. I wasn't at all. I wanted to find that something that made me me. That's something that made me smile. That's something that made me, in my head, know where I wanted to go. And I couldn't find it. No matter how many times I looked, no matter how many times I tried, I couldn't find that one thing that made me happy. Then this game started going around school, talking about, oh, look at this, like, it's a game where you kind of hurt yourself but you kind of don't, you're not meant to, but it can hurt you, and I played it, and I played it, and I played it, until I started playing it on my own, and it was no longer a game. I just kept hurting myself, physically. I've been beating myself up emotionally for a while. For a long while. But this time I started to beat myself up physically. And my friend noticed, my friend Shane, he noticed. He was the first to notice. And it was obvious that on my hands, I've still got the scars now. And he told the teacher. And the teacher didn't care. The teacher turned her head and didn't care. But rather than giving up my mate Shane, he went to a different teacher, a teacher he knew would care. He pulled me out class and broke every rule in the book and gave me a hug. Pulled me in, told me everything was going to be okay, because I didn't think it was. That was the moment I told her I tried to kill myself. That killed me. She's the first that I told. I never told my friend. I wrapped the dressing gown tie thing around your waist, tied it around my neck. So tightly I could hardly breathe. But I tied it so I couldn't loosen it in my sleep. And I went to sleep. I didn't know if I'd wake up. I didn't know what would happen to me. But I did. I woke up pretty much the day after my friend noticed, told the teachers, and the teachers pulled me out and I told the teachers. Begged them not to tell my family, but they had to. It was because I was struggling at home as well as at school. I didn't feel like I fit in at home with my mum and my stepdad. Life was different and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So I started to harm myself. And then they told my parents, pulled them into school. They had meetings. And part of me wants to tell you what happened in that meeting. The other part of me doesn't. Because I know if certain people watch this, that know the certain people that said the certain things. I'll tell you what was said. And those of you who know me know who said it. And those of you who don't, then just picture someone saying this to you when you feel at your lowest. I was told that me self-harming and trying to commit suicide was selfish, and that I didn't think of other people, I didn't think of the consequences, and that nothing I was feeling was as good or like as bad as other people in the world, that I was living a luxury life, that me feeling this way was selfish. I got called selfish at my lowest. Me reaching out, me trying to help, me trying to get help was selfish. That killed me, and it still stays to me to this very day. And then I went home. And things got better for a little bit. Not for long. Didn't take very long. I had to wear gloves at school because I was too embarrassed to put on cream. All of this slowly killed me. But I vowed to my dad from that day forward I would never try again. And I've still, to this day, kept that promise. I vowed to never put him through it again. And he blamed himself. That killed me. He blamed himself for not noticing sooner. When he was the reason I didn't do it sooner. Then I went into high school and thought, new start at Arravale. Shouldn't name my schools. Really shouldn't name my schools. Really shouldn't name my schools. Forget that school. But I went to high school. And I thought, fresh start, new start, let's go. Nothing changed. If anything, I got more alone than I was before. At middle school I had a group of friends. At high school I didn't. I kept jumping from group to group to group to group. And that's where I kept getting swallowed and spit out, is the best way I can describe it. I'd go to one group of friends, I'd let them in, and then spit me right back out. I'd go to another group of friends, I'd let them in, and then spit me right back out. Until it got to the point where I stopped letting people in. I was on my own. Then I met another group of friends, and they were good for me. They were good for me. During this time, I left my mum's to live with my dad. That moment I decided to leave my mum's, it was like that. I packed my bags and I left my house. As I was leaving, I got stopped by my stepdad and my mum, who dragged me back into the house and told me if I wanted to go to live with my dad, then just go. So I did. For a couple of weeks. I didn't see my mum for a while. But eventually did. And we've sorted out some arrangements so I can see her and see my family. And see my little sister. My half sister. Then in my final year of GCSEs, my final year of Arravale, everything went tits up. I lost my friends, the friends that helped me through a lot mentally, even if they didn't know it. And I started going delirious at one point. I started to mentally lose it. And then I brought myself back. They helped me a bit, but I brought myself back. I didn't know what to do. I lost everyone that I cared about in the space of 6 months. I felt alone again at a time where I had my exams. I passed up every opportunity that came to me in the fear of feeling alone. I passed up this thing called NCS when it was this retreat which looked amazing, but I passed it up again in the fear of being alone because none of my mates were doing it. Mates at that point, I've hardly kept any of them. There were certain friends that I kept, and those friends weren't going on it, and that's what drove my decision to not go. Those friends, if they're watching this, know who they are. They know how much they helped me, and they know how much it meant. And then NCS came in again for the second time. And I took the opportunity. I took the opportunity because I had no one. At this point, I felt like I had no one. I knew none of my friends were going on it that I was close with. Again, that number was so small. And I told my parents, if I even think about not going, slap me and force me to go. So I did. I went. I never changed my mind. I never turned my head. I went on my own. I knew no one from my school was going, and I just went. In those 4 weeks, I have never, and will never again, change as much as I did. I became the person I always wanted to be. I became myself again. Became a wacky, zany, funny self. Again. One final time. It was an opportunity to be myself, an opportunity to change and to just be free, and I went down that route, and the people I met they know who they are. That group of friends, that group on NCS, changed my life forever, and I'm not just saying that, they really did. My life changed in 4 weeks. 4 weeks I'll never forget. 4 weeks I'll always look fondly upon. And those friends I made, I've kept a lot of them. And I can't believe I have. But I have. Nearly 2 years on. And I kept them all. on that journey, I realised I love to entertain. I love to be on stage. I love to just put smiles on people's faces. And that's when I changed career path drastically. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to go into law and help people. I've always wanted to help people. But then I realised you don't have to have a fancy job to help people. You can just stand up and entertain, or as I'm doing, sitting down and entertain. Because that puts smiles on people's faces. And the best medicine is laughter. Helped me through so many dark days, laughter did. Because when you smile, when you laugh, you forget about everything. Every dark day, you forget. In an instant. Don't get me wrong, they come back. But for that second, they go. And that's what I wanted to do. So I changed career path. Now I want to be a journalist and go to uni. And I want to entertain. I want to present. That year I applied for Britain's Got Talent. And that's going to be news to some of you. Well, to many of you. I hardly told anyone. I applied to Britain's Got Talent. I was going to do comedy. And those demons came back and told me I couldn't do it. Told me I ain't funny enough. But that didn't stop me from considering. The thing that stopped me was the fact that I couldn't drive. I couldn't get myself there. Which would have meant I would have had to have told my parents. And I couldn't do it. I still haven't. So there's a lot that I told you before I told my parents. Because I didn't know what their reactions would be. I didn't know if they'd support me. Because a lot of the time I get told I'm not funny. By them. So for me to then try and do something where I'd have to be funny seemed ludicrous. Seemed ridiculous. So I didn't go. This is the first big step into doing what I want to do. Because I never wanted or never thought I could go in front of a camera and talk to people, some I've never met. Come up with ideas to entertain, to make people happy, make people laugh and make people smile. I never thought I could do it, but here I am. Doing it. And you'd think by now I'd have the support of my parents fully, but I don't. Don't think they quite understand what I do, why I like to do what I do, and I don't know if they'll ever understand. Not truly. The things that got me through all of this was me watching YouTube. Me watching people's lives go by as mine did. And hear them laugh and cry, and it got me through a lot. And they don't get that. They don't understand it. They don't get why. Positive mental attitude. I've even got a t-shirt that says it. PMA. Got me through a lot. Positive mental attitude gets me through a lot. The idea of the only way you can progress is to keep moving forward. Even if it's just a little bit. That even on your dark days, if you just do a tiny bit, it's more than nothing. And if you do more than nothing every single day, not a day is wasted. That helped me through some of my tough days. Because a lot of the time I'd feel as though I wasn't doing anything, or I wasn't progressing with my life. But the idea that everything I did, even if it was just a tiny bit, if I did something every day, I'd be progressing with my life. I'd be doing something. That helped me through a lot, to know that everything I did meant that my life was going forwards, because I always felt it wasn't. Now, if you're still with me by this stage, well done. And thank you for dealing with my ramblings. But this is something I never do. I don't talk about my mental health. I don't talk about my past. I don't talk about my scars inside and out. I don't do it. So if you're still watching, thank you. And I can't thank you enough for your support and for everything you do. And to me in the future, if you ever re-watch this, don't lose faith. Not once. Because you've been through hell and back mentally, and you're still here. So don't forget that. Don't ever stop. Keep going. Keep moving forward. That's what you can do. I usually end my videos by telling you to comment, like and subscribe. But this isn't a video to do it. This is me rambling on about my life. And about where I want to go and why. So thank you for watching. Genuinely. And I can't thank you enough for your support. See ya.